I was thinking of you. I have a question for you. You know how when mothers have to deal with their kids,
Yes.
and then the kids grow up, become teenagers, the boys, and then now they want to run the road, run the street, and
Yep.
date and all that. And then sometimes they get on your nerve. You're like, oh, you better get that boy. Don't have me.
Yep.
Lord, keep me from him. And then you tell the husband, you better get your child. I'm about to choke him.
Yep.
You still do that?
No.
You stopped doing it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
stopped.
beautiful.
I stopped. I've been watching myself a lot. I really have. It's been nice.
And so tell me about you stopped doing it. What's that like for you now?
I can see myself getting into my thoughts because I want to react.
Yeah.
That's an initial reaction for me. But lately I've just been like, all right. Like right now he was sitting here, he's like, Christy, mom. And I'm just like, I'm not even gonna look at this kid.
Right on.
So it's been good. It's been great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, I know one Sunday you said, well, when you're dealing with him, you'd go, you better get this man, you better get this boy.
Yeah. And I used to make him feel bad.
Yeah.
And you know what, that's one thing you did tell me. I don't know if it was during church or after church. And I would tell him to check him with an emotion tied to that to make sure he felt some type of way.
Yeah.
And I've stopped that too. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of you, and I was thinking even that's the devil got you reacting too.
Yeah.
By saying all that stuff in your head. You better get this boy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because in reality, you shouldn't be moved by your son's action at all.
Yeah.
And you will see the right way to deal with it in the right way, with the right spirit.
And I've noticed that when I don't react, he stops himself. So, I mean, there's still times where he'll just, oh my, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to get worse before it get better.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's a teenager.
Yeah.
But you watch how you deal with it, because Satan is keeping you angry.
Yeah.
And you put pressure on your husband. So now he got to try to make you calm down by dealing with the son. And if he going to overreact and dealing with the son, it'll just be a mess.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And how's everything else going for you?
I think right now I feel like there's still like Randy said one time where you just have your moments. But right now I feel like I'm on a pretty good roller coaster going up, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're educated? You have a degree?
I have some no, I don't have like a bachelor's or anything.
Oh, okay. But you have some college?
Yeah, I have some college.
Sorry, Randy, what I'm about to say. Randy doesn't seem like he can handle you.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, see?
Yeah.
Everybody know what I mean.
I'm sure.
You know, some men and women
that.
together, you can just see how that man don't look like he can handle her.
I don't look that
you like,
bad.
you know, you're a bit higher. But what about that? What is it like knowing you have a man
that can't handle me?
He can't handle you. He's nice, and that's the
He
problem.
is.
That's the problem. Huh?
Yeah. That is the problem.
Uh-huh.
I want him to like sit me down and be like, you better cut that out. So, but yeah. I mean, sometimes he does, but for the most part, he's very soft. But I love it. I love it.
No,
and
you
I'm not
don't.
trying to,
You
no,
hate
I don't.
it.
You're right. I do. I really do.
He be like, you better sit down. You want him to say, hey, no, sit down.
Yeah.
You can't do that, Randy? What's wrong with you? Too much mama?
I don't know.
What would happen if you told her how the cow ate the cabbage and she didn't like it at all?
There's been times where it does happen. I don't know, I just don't really have it in me to just like I feel like it has to come with anger. Like when you explain it to me, maybe it's the thoughts, but it sounds like it has to come from anger. That's what's confusing to me. Like, how do I get to that level without anger? Because I can get there with anger, but without anger, I don't know.
You do it by speaking up anyway and see what happens. You need to tell her, no, calm down. Just tell her, and if she doesn't like it, watch how you're feeling about what she's thinking about, how she's acting, and she's like, well, you don't tell me what to do.
Well, I don't like that word calm down.
You don't like calm down?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm going to react to that.
See? And let her, when
See?
you calm down, and when you calm down, watch her reacting to you, not reacting to you, not reacting to her. You got to be the watcher, looking at the devil inside of her and watch the devil inside of you. And that's how this whole thing get worked out. God just wants us to be aware. There's nothing we can do about ourselves or anyone else, but he wants us to see what's going on so he can save us from the darkness. He doesn't want you to be afraid, but if you do have fear, he wants you to see that you have the spirit of fear, but tell her how the cow ate the cabbage anyway, and if she's acting out because you're not reacting, watch that too, but don't react. You know what I mean? You got to watch what's happening inside of you. Because she needs you to be there. She's never had a strong man before. And she's starving for one. Sorry you got a beta. He's working on it.
Yes.
I used to be a beta. I remember when I like dated a whole lot, right? And I was wanting to yell at the girl, say something, yell at her. And then the word would come, because I'm all mad, I'm ticked. And the word would come, and they would get here and lock in my throat. I'll be like, can you go? Can you go over there? And they would literally lock in my throat and wouldn't come out. Unless I was like really mad. Anybody ever have that? Am I not?
Yeah.
Is Brandon and I the only one? Thank you. Y'all know that fear. You know what I'm talking about. Especially dealing with women. But you got to do it anyway. And if she yells because she's not accustomed to it, and she yells and go off on you and act like a black girl or whatever, you stay still. No, you just stay still and do what you got to do. And in about 50 years, she'll come around and you'll die.
Oh my God.
At least you'll die in peace.
That's why men die sooner.
Right. Because they don't know how to deal with that hell. But she needs you, she really needs you to be strong. And don't be afraid of losing her.
What the?
Right.
Okay.
If she said, well, you don't tell me what to do, I'm independent. I'm leaving. I'm going. Oh, okay, bye.
Oh yeah, that's not happening.
Just,
I got nowhere to go.
right.
Yeah, that's not.
But you're fortunate your wife is working on herself, so you got it a little easier. If you were with a woman that was not working on herself, you wouldn't have a chance. You really wouldn't have a chance. So at least she knows there's another way. So you got to stop being afraid. Your wife tell you, oh, we're going to have chicken and liver for dinner. You're like, no, we're not. I don't want no chicken. I want a steak. And if she doesn't cook you a steak, you whoop her. No, I'm playing. No whooping. I can hear the people now. You told her to... No, I'm playing. It's Thanksgiving. But the whole point for both of you, really, you got to see what's going on in here.
Yeah.
You got to be aware of you, and no one is to blame for the way you feel. So your fear has nothing to do with her, but it's already in you. That make sense?
It's interesting you're saying that because we had family, well, I had my dad's side family come over for Thanksgiving, and they were over the house last night, and we were all talking, and it seems like they also have the same trauma that I have.
They
Like,
do.
the same fear, the same
Yeah.
anxieties, the same it's almost like my dad and their mom, which their siblings, made us, meaning me and my cousins, afraid to speak up.
Absolutely.
And it's
passed
the
out from generation to
exact same
generation.
trauma to the T.
Yes. Same theory. That's why we must be born again, so we don't pass that anger down to our children. And then they would come up in love, and it'll be peace on earth for them. You're absolutely right about that. And then you got to stop being so willful. the first thing,
Okay.
you got to control that too by watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Because you're working on you. Let's say Randy never gets strong. Let's say he stays beta forever, right? You want to have peace in your life.
Yeah.
And in spite of his weakness, you still can have peace because you will be of love. Christ came that you may have peace.
I have a really bad, like, I bring my dad up a lot because my dad was very, very alpha, and he was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to act like this, because he would, like, cut it that moment.
Right.
And I know it's a really bad habit that I have, where I'll tell him, like, why can't you be more like my dad? Why can't you be more like my dad? Because I grew up with my dad like that, where he would tell me absolutely not, and it was either, he would not ever repeat himself more than once.
Right.
And I know I have to watch myself when I do that, because I know it affects him also.
When you say, why don't you be like my dad?
Yeah.
When it's not your responsibility or your fault that affects him.
Right.
That's his problem. It's not. Because he had to overcome that. He shouldn't be affected because you say, well, why don't you be like my dad? You weak thing. Be like my dad. My dad would do that. If he was strong, he would just give you the finger and tell you bring up your dad. I ain't your dad, and give you the finger. He should try to live up to that or be whatever your father was. Or your father, because your father could have been too strict on you, and you may resent him for that and still holding on to that too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he shouldn't even try to be like your father. And when you bring it up, you're just judging him anyway. You're telling him how weak he is.
Yeah. And I think that's what I intentionally do sometimes.
Absolutely. That's why you.
I know that for a fact. Yeah, because I see it.
When she brought you, why can't you be like my dad? When she said, "You weak thing, I hate you. You're weak." She's judging you.
I don't say all that, but
So, but
yeah.
in the action, it is that. It is truly that. You're judging his weakness. And so if you feel bad about it and now you're trying to live up to it, then you got a problem. That's in you, because when she says that, you shouldn't be moved by that at all. But if you are moved by something that you got to overcome, she should stop doing that. But if she doesn't, you'll be fine with it. Y'all understand this? This makes sense? You don't quite understand it?
No, this is one of the more confusing things.
Okay, hold it. Okay. Don't go away, bad family. Okay. What you don't understand about that?
So I might be the opposite. I think I stand up too much. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could be doing for ego reason. You still maybe try to protect your ego, because if you're worried about being weak, you're still trying to protect a false nature, your ego.
Right. It's not that I feel strong standing up. It's just that, in fact, I'm a little confused on when to say something and when not to. There's times where I'll just let things go.
Right.
And then I'll let it build up, which is way worse as far as how I handle it.
Well, when you're not sure what to say and let it go, let it go.
Yeah.
Or if you overdo it, watch yourself overdoing it.
Right.
And then watching it is what's going to change it. Because if you try to stop overdoing it, you're going to underdo it.
Right.
And if you underdo it, you're going to overdo it. Why not let go and watch and let things happen on its own? God got us. He'll take care of us. And he knows that we're driven by evil spirits in our imagination, and it's not us. It's enough for you to see it, then he will work it out.
So, like, there are situations where a woman will nitpick, and it'll seem relentless. Like, you can't even take a step without a comment. So you'd be fighting all day.
But why do you have to fight with a nitpicking woman?
Right, so that's the thing. It's like, at what point, if it just...
You mean
it's
like
it's like death by 1,000 cuts.
At work, or if you're dating? Or period?
Let's just say period, but in particular with women, right? So it's just, or like, say the mother of your children that you have to deal with, to be more specific. Just nonstop.
Stop fighting with the devil.
Right.
Let her nitpick by herself. You don't have to respond.
So don't even comment.
No comments. That's right.
Okay.
I want you to know you don't owe anyone any explanation. You don't owe anyone an apology or anything.
But see, that's what's confusing, because on the one hand, you're telling him to stand up more.
By watching his weakness so he can overcome it. If
So
he
are you
needed-
not standing up by letting all these little things slide?
No.
Okay.
Repeat that. Are you, what did you say?
So are you not standing up for yourself when you're letting somebody nitpick you into oblivion?
Oh, when you try to stop someone from nitpicking at you,
Right.
and if you try to defend it, you're not standing up for yourself.
Right.
Because there's no stuff to stand up for.
Okay.
And so if your wife or ex is carrying on, let her carry on by herself and watch what you're thinking about it or feeling about it.
Right.
And if you're feeling something about it, be glad to see that, but do nothing about it.
All right.
Because if you let it, you will overcome it, and then when she's nitpicking next time, you won't be moved by it
Right.
at all. It'll be on her, and it has nothing to do with you.
Right on.
As a matter of fact, it has nothing to do with you anyway, but because you think there is a you think she's nitpicking at you. And it's not, it's all inside of her.
Right.
Do you see there's no you?
Yes, at times, but there's some times where you're just trying to get through your day in a practical way, and then there's just like wrenches being thrown at you. Does that make sense?
Give me an example of a wrench.
Well, at some point you do have to communicate with the person, right?
Right.
Like, okay, I'm gonna, pick up.
When you do, you just do it with perfect love. Come pick the child up at 8 o'clock,
Right.
right? And she's like, I can't come at 8 o'clock. You always want me to come at 8. Oh, come at 8.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't always want you to come at 8. Yeah, you do, and blah, blah, blah. Then she said, okay, I can't come at 8. I'm not coming at 8. You say, okay, bye. And you'll see what to do with the child.
Right. All right.
That makes sense?
It does.
Isn't it like beautiful to have control of your own life and stop being subject to the world? Did that help? Do you understand that you don't owe her an argument at all?
Yes, right now I do. Right now in this chair I do.
Right.
But the question is, a week from now, when I've been busy doing all these other things and I'm tired and I get caught sideways.
You go unconscious when you're tired.
There are times, yeah, where I'm just, I'm not prepared.
You should always be prepared. Never forget to be present.
That's
The greatest sin you can forget, that you can commit, is to forget. God said to pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
He simply means at all time be present.
right.
That's all it means, so that when the devil throw these little things at us,
Yeah.
when things come, you'll be ready to see it and watch it go by
Yeah.
without having to respond.
That's probably the most important advice, because it's not when I'm ready. It's not when I'm well rested and present. Nothing seems to happen when that's the
But
case.
when your body is tired, what does that have to do with your spirit being? Your spirit not tired.
Fair enough, but it's just an example of, when you have the flu and you're driving, that's when everybody wants to take a piece of you, kind of thing. No, when
Repeat that?
It's just, it seems like human nature, they can almost sense when you're at your weakest. And that's when people
can.
attack you. But when you're ready and you're strong, it's different.
But you should always be ready by being conscious.
Right. So
Always,
that,
even when you're sick, be ready.
yeah, that answers my question, actually.
Okay.
That's
Stay
just
present.
something I need to stay present. That's it.
Stay present. All you need to do is practice being present, really. And that's the hardest thing for the ego to do because it hates God. It doesn't want to be present.
Right.
It doesn't want you to be one with the Father. It wants you to be lost in time with it, lost in your head. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So practice staying present. All those things will work. It's going to be amazing. I can't find the words.
Right.
If you practice being present.
Yeah, I probably wasn't prepared for Thanksgiving.
You were not?
Not really.
Why not?
Because that's when, all the people that don't really spend time with each other get together. It's probably the most challenging time. They should change that time to it's the most challenging time of the year instead of most wonderful time of the year.
And so you met with the family and you had a rough time?
Wasn't really that bad, but you just, now that I'm paying attention to things, you see things in people
Right.
that are so strange.
That's right. And that's the beauty of God. He wants you to see what's in you and know that it's not you, so you can stop playing God with it.
Yeah.
But he also wants you to see what's in others, so you can stop playing God on them too. You stop judging them, and you'll be protected from it.
I think that's what happened is that I got a little cocky and I was judging people.
Yeah.
And then I got my lesson,
Yeah.
like, oh.
Because when you judge somebody, when you're, in all honesty, when you're judging them, you're judging yourself.
Yeah.
You're not even judging them, you're judging you, because it's in you. And you're feeling the fire, the sting of judging. It's all in you. But Satan tells you, oh, you hurt that person feeling, or you're better than that person, you know the truth.
Right.
And he's lying to you, right? And you feel the pain of that too, because you end up looking silly.
And you don't know how ironic it is that you were talking about pumpkin pie. Because that was actually one of the things, like, honestly, like, that's my favorite thing. And
Pumpkin pie?
yes, and my mother purposely didn't bring it. And it was obvious, obvious to me. And it was like I'd been set up. Somehow I was the bad guy for even mentioning it.
Yeah.
I just said something in passing, so there's no pumpkin pie, right?
Yeah.
And then the reaction she had was like she drew all the family in, like, look, you see how he is? He doesn't appreciate anything. I thought this was a thankful holiday. And all I was making just a practical comment, like, where's the pumpkin pie? It is Thanksgiving.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was like a setup.
And how did you deal with that?
I just made that one comment, like, because one of my kids was looking at me, and they knew. And I was like, I guess there's no pumpkin pie this Thanksgiving. They're all over this. I mean, you probably couldn't go into a store without seeing one, but for some reason, they're not here.
And how did you react to your mother's reaction to that?
I just immediately, I saw it clearly what was happening, and I went to the other room as soon as I could. I cracked a beer, and then I, regrouped and went back in there. Like it never happened. Because I didn't see any other strategy.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want you to, well, I don't know what the next moment I'm going to call for.
Yeah.
But next time that happens, you stay and endure it. Don't run from it.
Yeah.
Run to that.
Yeah, I saw her face. I went, oh no, I'm going over here.
Yes, you ran.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah. What I would have recommended you do is that when she went off like that, you should have noticed how you felt about it. Now they're all attacking you, and she's saying these things. What am I thinking, feeling about it? And you will have overcome that.
Well, thankfully, my kids had my back. They just kind of smiled. They saw
but your
what time it
kid's not
was.
supposed to have your back. I'm
Well-
talking about God having your back, man.
That would be way better, yeah.
You ran to the room and got a beer. Mama is waiting for next time to get you.
You ain't lying. She is. That's a fact.
Yeah. But had you overcome about enduring it and watching it, knowing that it wasn't you,
Right.
next time it wouldn't move you at all.
Yeah.
You would be able to say, well, look, I want a pumpkin pie. You would be able to deal with it and not feel anything about it.
I probably shouldn't even have mentioned it. I should.
No, you
just let
should
it
have
sit.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
But you should have overcome by being still through it. Anybody understand what I'm saying?
Even I understand.
Oh, okay, by being
I
through
get what you're saying about being still.
Right.
I definitely handled it like a coward, for
What?
sure. I definitely handled it like a coward. I saw the face, and I was
Yeah.
like, I need to remove this situation, because I saw what she was doing. It was like you said before. Well, sometimes people will build an army against you.
Yes.
She used that little situation to do it, and I saw it clearly. I just didn't know exactly what to do, so I thought, well, I'm not going to be here for this while she's having her little party. I'm just going to
Run.
change the subject. Like,
How
oh,
would you
what's
like
that
to be
over there?
married to him? You ready for mama
Yeah.
at the party.
Facts.
No, next time when God said that present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and accepted unto me,
Yeah.
what he means is all that junk, when it comes, be still through it. Let him handle it for you. Don't run with the devil. Don't run from it because you're giving it life.
Right.
But to be still and watch what's going on in the emotions and mind and emotions, and he would come and destroy the devil. But you didn't present it to him, you ran.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. Be aware of that.
We'll get him next time.
No matter what the situation is. Did that make sense? Okay.
Thank you.
Are we through with y'all? So, and then I'll come to you. Don't forget. Randy, you understand you can't be afraid of your wife anymore?
I do.
Yeah. And it's not you, but it's a spirit of anger, fear, being raised that way, and all that. All right? I remember when I was a kid, I used to speak up all the time. And a lot of time I got in trouble for speaking up. And then I think that's why I became a little afraid to speak up as I got older, because I thought that they were going to yell at me or this fear of mama. But you can get past that when you endure it anyway. You be firm with your wife, no matter how she's acting. You just don't resent, don't be angry. It'll change by itself. It really will. But you can't run. And don't try to be like her daddy. You ain't her daddy.
So here's the confusing part. She talks about her dad being very alpha, strong in his way, and my dad was the complete opposite. Very quiet, very timid.
Yeah.
I could say I'm more like him. So I guess I don't know who's right, and that's what's confusing. She's saying be over there, and my dad was a certain way, and then you're saying be right. Well, what is right?
Don't try to be like your father, her father, or your father. You be you. By seeking the kingdom of God, being aware of what's going on inside of you, and you'll be you. Don't try to be like either one of them. We're not supposed to be like our parents. We're supposed to overcome our parents. So just be you. Don't try to be like either one of them. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be you. You want to be you. Be Randy. And you be you. Yes.
Nice.
So I have a question, because you said we don't owe anybody any explanations. We don't, right? And no, any apologies?
No.
So that's one thing that I feel like it's an issue between us, because I will not, I will see my fault and I won't repeat it, but I will not apologize. And I believe sometimes Randy will expect an apology or an explanation as to my action, and I've told him multiple times I don't think I don't have to explain myself or apologize, and I feel like my actions will speak for themselves. There's times where we'll talk, you and I will talk, and you'll tell me something and I'll see it in myself, and then I'll go to him a week or two after and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry for what I've done, and I'll fix it and I'll work on that.
Right.
But if something happens in that instant, if I say, oh, you're driving wrong, I'm not going to apologize for that. I mean, what?
You want apologies, Randy? Do you need a hug with that apology? You want an apology?
No, I don't want an apology.
You want to apologize?
No.
What do you want?
So if, let's say I make a mistake, this became couples therapy. Let's say I make a mistake, she would expect me, well, how come you don't even acknowledge that you made a mistake? So if I'm expected to acknowledge.
Oh, you want him to acknowledge and he want to apologize? Y'all want, what's wrong with you?
I don't think it's always like that. It's not.
You want him to acknowledge he did you wrong?
Sometimes.
Why?
Just because that's the thrill in me, my
Right.
ego, so
It's
I
the
know that.
thrill.
I know that for a fact.
It ain't real. It's a thrill.
Right.
It's more control.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Uh-oh. Satan just woke up. Hold on, Satan. Satan will laugh. This is so much, I'm enjoying this. This is an amazing Thanksgiving. Why must he apologize, period?
I don't
Or
think he needs
acknowledge
to
that he did you
apologize.
wrong.
Honestly, I really don't expect an apology. I can care, not that I don't care, but I can care less. I think, like you said, it's more me wanting to control
Yes.
that
It's all
situation
about
and
the
that fact.
control.
Right, right. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Because I know deep down it doesn't really bother me. I just want to be like, ooh, you see? So
Do you-
I know that. I know that.
What do you think about that, Randy?
It's a mess.
Well,
It's a mess on both sides.
you know what it is? Human beings are wicked.
I'm noticing that. We're both
The
wicked.
human heart, human beings are wicked. And that's part of the wickedness. All that stuff is pure evil. We want to hurt one another, you got to do this, you got to be that way, you got to act this way. It's all wickedness. It's all trying to destroy.
I know I can say within the last 3+ years, we've gone a lot better.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, we've done counseling with you
It's
and everything,
apparent,
right?
yeah.
It's gone so much better. But I that's what I'm saying. There's times where I have my ups and my lows where I know like the devil gets
Yeah.
me and I'm like cussing it out inside. But I know those are like the thrills in me and that wanting to have that like control. And I know that's not me. I know that for a fact.
Right.
But I still let it control me. And that's my problem. And I still need to reel back on all that, those feelings and those
you need
thoughts.
to see
and,
it so you can stop doing it.
I know.
So it can die.
Yeah.
In order to have a life, you got to give up a life. And that's the life you got to give up.
And I think that's the hard part. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I still want to hold on to something, but I know I don't want to.
Right. And it's only hard to give up a life because you think that is you and you think it's real life, but it's really death.
Right.
You just feel like life because you've identified with it,
Yeah.
and that's all you know. You forgot what it's like to be like a little kid
Yeah.
and just live without opinions, without judging, forgiving, and just be free. You forgot that when you were traumatized as a kid. And now you're living this false life, which is death, and you're calling it life.
Yeah.
But it's all evil and they're all spirits. This carrying on like this are spirits that made a home in you. They're
Yeah.
not even you, right?
Yeah.
They are just spirits. But the people don't know that they're spirits. They think it's them.
Yeah.
It sounds like me, it feels like me, it must be me, and it's not.
Yeah.
Those are evil spirits. The big devil's up there using his children inside your mind to destroy you. That's all it is spirits. Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
And so start catching it, and it'll resolve itself, but start catching it.
I need to stay conscious. I remember that. That's
You
for
got
sure.
to stay present.
Yeah.